Reddit is, I don't know what the hell Reddit is. It's a mystery, or at least some would say. But this underground social news site has grown a committed cult following that would make Heaven's Gate look like a rainbow party. But will this contender stand up to the king of social news in delivering a lower CPC to social media marketers? Join us today for the fight of the century. Facebook versus Reddit. Who will deliver a lower cost per click? Let's get ready to rumble. It's the Social Media Lab Live.
Are you ready to use science to bust some myths in the social media ecosystem?
Great Scott!
Welcome to the Social Media Lab Live, brought to you by Agorapulse, where our social media scientists experiment on real accounts to crack the code on social media success for your business.
Type 5 to subscribe to the show.
Now your hosts, Owen Video and Scott Ayers.
Welcome back to the Social Media Lab Live, where social media professionals bust the myths, rumors, and stories of social media marketing with science. We're live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. PST on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can join the tribe when you give me 5. That's right. Just type 5 in the comment section below to join us in the Social Media Lab Lounge, where you'll get insider access plus contribute to the show in a group made just for social media nerds like you. Type 5 into the comment section now. I'm your host, Owen Video, your host MC, and I'm here with the #1 social media scientist, Scott Ayers.
Man, that's quite the intro. I'm excited. Yeah, so today our show is brought to you by our friends and my employer, Agorapulse. If you need some way to manage your social media, you need to check out Agorapulse. We are the #1 social media management tool for small business marketers and for agencies. You can schedule your posts, you can moderate your comments, you can track different keywords, you can use your entire team on it. So go over to getagorapulsenow.com, sign up for your free trial, and then after you're done with the trial, you're going to want to sign up. So once you get a paid account, use that coupon code right there, LIVE, and your first month will be absolutely free. So go over to getagorapulsenow.com to get started.
Awesome, Scott. Great to have you here. And we want to welcome our 75 or 80 live viewers that are watching us on Facebook and on YouTube. It's great to see you here right now. And I've got a question for you if you're listening. So tap in, tap on into the show. Is it coupon or coupon? That's I want to get down to the nitty gritty here, Scott Ayers.
What are you? I'm coupon.
Is it coupon or coupon? I want to hear from you in the comment section below, because we don't waste time talking about nonsense stuff. We only talk about serious stuff here.
We learned that last week
on the show. Yeah, Scott, good to have you here. You know, two shows left before the Christmas holiday break. Are you geared up? Are you jazzed up and ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for the holiday season. Yeah, I'm off for about a week or two because the holidays fall on a Wednesday, so it kind of works out well for me. So yeah, we're in like full daily Christmas activity mode in our house. We do awesome. a daily count. We do a daily countdown. Cool. And open a little envelope and it's got a daily activity. Of course, this last week's been like my wife and I are like, why did we do this? We're out till like 9 or 10 o'clock at night and tired. Today is like play Christmas Pictionary, so it's a nice easy one. But yeah, so it's a fun thing.
That is so fun. I love that. In fact, we just got our Advent calendars, for $1.
It's kind of like our version of an Advent calendar. We do little envelopes and put candy in it, and the kids open it every morning. They're getting older, so now it's like more challenging to come up with stuff a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old want to do.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes a 13-year-old, she just rolls her eyes like, really?
Oh yeah, I've got a 12-year-old, and we were doing last night. We were doing kids shopping for the kids, and so I said to my son Benny. First of all, I want to say what's up to the 97 viewers for logging in on Facebook right now. Great to see you. We're now at 102, and we're glad to have you here. We were talking, and I said, now you got to pick out something for your older brother, and he looks at me and he goes, Kanan doesn't like anything though. And I thought, nothing is
Doesn't
from
like
the
me.
mouths of babes. From the mouths of babes, essentially, is what we
Right.
got. What we got over there. But it's a fun time in the holiday season. And we'd love to know, what are your holiday plans? What are you doing? Are you celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah? I believe Ramadan is this time of year, as well as some others. Love to know, what's your favorite holiday December tradition? I think would be a good thing to ask there as I get logged in on my computer here. I want to say what's up to Carlos Finas, Lucia Acostin, Gerald Simone, and Mark Villarreal watching us on YouTube. Also, Amani Channel, Darian Hill, Carolina Salick, Ryan Perry, Daryl Eves, and Marcus Harris. Well, Air 5 to you guys. My good buddy Daryl Eves. Good to see you here. My man Daryl's in Singapore, or he was doing some really important YouTube work, so it's good to have you guys out there. Naomi Nakashima, Ryan Perry, Dustin W. Stout, Birthday Girl, Patricia Summer, Chrissy Buck, who is saying
Love
it's
Chrissy.
coupon.
Q.
You say
You get
Carrie
that?
Rhea saying coupon.
Well, you get what Chrissy's saying there with the Q. Her company Quick.
I like
Starts with the Q, so
I
she's
like
getting
it.
a little branding and a little free advertising
Way
for
to
Quick.
stay on brand.
Right
Way
in
to
there. Good job, Chrissy.
advertise.
Yeah.
Way to advertise for free. Dustin Stout, you're looking fine, looking sharp this morning. Carrie Real is saying big meals, full bellies, and probably great family. Richard Young is saying I love Advent calendars. I do too. When I was a kid, the Advent calendar was like one of the coolest parts of the Christmas season. And I was shocked as an adult to learn these things cost like $1. And as an adult, you grow up and you start to eat this chocolate and you're like, what is this nasty chocolate that I'm eating here? So we do it more for the fun, but we love to hear from you guys. We're asking you, what are your favorite holiday traditions? Let us know in the comment section below. And we're going to need the holiday cheer because today our episode is a grudge match. We are getting down and dirty between Reddit and Facebook. And I want for how many of you guys know what Reddit is? How many of you are familiar with Reddit? Give me a yes, give me a no in the comment section. I want to hear from you on this. Scott, talk to us a little bit about the difference between Facebook and Reddit and why this study was so important.
There's a massive difference, obviously. Reddit's kind of, I equate Reddit to that odd place where you have all these crazy conspiracy theories and then memes and long discussions about heated toilet seats. We found that the other day. But it's a cool site for a lot of news, and it's a place where a lot of people are going because of the whole, hashtag delete Facebook, sort of movement. People are going over
Cancel culture.
more and more to that whole thing. And I don't know if we have an image of it, but it was a pretty cool stat that we found where they're predicting by 2023. There it is. There, you can see the trend. By 2023, almost 12% of U.S. internet usage will be on Reddit. It's only behind like Google and YouTube as far as traffic is concerned. So it's a major site that a lot of people use, even though for me it's always been that, and I'm the guy with the orange wig, but it's a tinfoil hat kind of place, if you know what I mean. It's like that's where I've always looked at Reddit as.
Okay, so I know what you mean. And I'm curious to hear what our audience has to think. Are you wearing a tinfoil hat right now? That's what I want to hear from you right now. Dustin Stout, who's a top fan, is saying, I'm on Reddit daily. Dustin, what are you doing on Reddit daily? What are you looking at? Because Reddit sort of divides. It's an interesting site. It's definitely made for the person born with the internet. So if you were born and the internet already existed, like you probably get Reddit a little bit more so than someone who was born and then years later came the internet. With Reddit, it's all user-generated content, right? So the users put up all the content, and then other users can upvote it or downvote it. You can have comments and threads, and there's subreddits, right? So you have these little subgroups that you can sort of get into. So you've got Reddit, which is the site, but you're not going to do anything on Reddit, right, Scott? You're going to do something in a subreddit.
It's kind of like subreddits are basically like the equivalency of Facebook groups in essence, except it's like completely anonymous. Like no one has to know who you are. So Dustin might be red shirt California guy, or something like that, on Reddit. No one has any idea who you are. But I've found, though, in Reddit in the past, especially like major news stories happen. I remember, and I don't want to get crazy, I'm a conspiracy theorist, kind of. I like a good conspiracy theory.
The Bigfoot guy is a conspiracy theorist? That's shocking to me. I know.
But if you don't remember when the Vegas shooting happened,
yeah,
like I went immediately to Reddit and found that like people had been leaking information about it before it happened, and there was all the leaked photos and all the stuff happened on Reddit before it got to the news. So it's kind of an interesting place for that. But I mean, in looking at it in the last couple of weeks, there's actually, if you're in marketing, which most of you watching this, I would assume are, there are subreddits for marketing, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, video marketing. There's a lot of cool little subreddits like around different niches, and is it niche or niche? Since we're asking odd questions how to pronunciate things today, is it niche or niche?
I'm a niche guy,
but I'm niche. See, I'm niche. So I'm coupon and niche.
You're Texas. You're all Texas.
Yeah,
that's what
my
you
Texas
are.
Hangs out big time.
Your Texas is showing.
Yeah, button that up. But yeah, so I think it's an interesting site. It's one that I used to go to a long time ago, and then now I keep thinking about it more and more. I always want to go to it. And Dustin's putting some good comments in here about what he does on Dustin. He's actually Dustin W. Stout on there as well. Surprise.
Yeah. Well, we've got an interesting study for you today. So the growth of Reddit is why we're comparing it to Facebook, because of this, cancel Facebook culture, moving over to Reddit. Reddit has a very active and very engaged user base. So Scott, tell us because I didn't even know ads existed on Reddit. Half the time Scott does these studies and I'm just like, oh, they can do that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm too busy combing my hair in the morning. Scott,
that doesn't take very long.
I know. No, it's a quick. It's a mental exercise more than anything else. So Scott, talk to us about the hypothesis here and what you guys were measuring, because you're not just measuring organic engagement, you're measuring advertisement and the cost per click there. How much does it cost to run ads on Reddit versus Facebook? And tell us about your hypothesis there and what we're going to look at in today's study.
Yeah, I mean, you said you were kind of surprised. I was surprised that Reddit had ads as well, and so they're going to do about $261 million in revenue, though.
Wow.
So my hypothesis was that based on just looking at Facebook and looking at Reddit ads will have a higher CPC and drive less traffic than Facebook, because surely this site, with about tinfoil hats and aliens and other things, can't have great CPC for a marketing blog, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of my thought there, because Facebook's that big monster. You can really target in Facebook, where Reddit's a little bit different when it comes to how you can target. But they're making tons of revenue, and they're having serious increases. And their ad platform to set up ads is super simple. And so I was kind of really impressed with them. I'm running another ad right now that I just started 2 or 3 days ago. And just because I'm like, okay, I want to see how this goes again, just to make sure this stuff is working right.
Yeah, and I would probably agree with your hypothesis. How many of you in the audience agree that, how about this? Who is going to have a lower CPC? Is it Reddit or is it Facebook? Meaning you can get more for your money on Reddit, or you can get more for your money on Facebook. And the reason, Scott, that I initially agree with you is because Facebook is massive, right? You can reach your audience there. I would think that the Reddit audience doesn't really want anything to do with advertisement. I would think that the Reddit audience, because you call it conspiratorial, I would say woke, but because of that type of audience, you're going to have people with ad blockers. You're going to have people that are not interested specifically because you advertise. They're not going to be interested in doing business with you. So I'm really curious to see how you manage this account. What were some of the results of this test? So talk to us a little bit about how you now manage your test here. What accounts did you use? What type of ads did you use? Did you use video ads, image ads? Talk to us a little bit about the process.
Yeah, and a couple of things, just a reminder. If you type 5, you can join our social media lab group. And I ran a quick poll in there this week. Only 29% of the people who entered the poll use Reddit. So yeah, a lot of you are in the same boat. You don't use Reddit a whole lot, so it's kind of a foreign thing there. But to set up the ad, I just created a new account as a Reddit user, because you don't really have business pages and and that sort of thing. At least I haven't seen a way to do that because it's all about the subreddits and the conversation. So I just created a new account, and immediately I could go in and start creating ads. And so what we did is we ran 2 different ads that were sending traffic to blog posts on the Social Media Lab. And you can see there, these are the examples of what the ads look like on Reddit. So they look just like a typical Reddit conversation, if you will. Just kind of all the option I've got was a line of text, which was the title.
Okay.
And then I could put it in an image and then it linked to it. That's all I was able to do. And you can see the website it goes to. It's agorapulse.com. That's it. That's all I could do.
Okay.
On the ad
simple,
on this.
And it looks like a Reddit thread. It looks just like a normal Reddit thread. Our good friend Daryl Eves is logging in. He's watching us on a watch party, and he says Reddit users hate paid ads. And see, that's totally my suspicion, and largely that comes from watching so many of Daryl Eves' trainings at VidSummit about how he uses Reddit to grow on YouTube. Daryl, I'm curious to know if you've run ads and what has worked, if anything, on Reddit, because perhaps he's more of an organic guy over there. Jeff Zalteros is saying, does Reddit have retargeting of any kind? That may be skipping ahead real quick, but let's answer the question, Scott. Is there any retargeting?
I didn't see anything in there when I've set up the last 2 ads. And what we're going to dive into is how we set it up. But you can set up targeted based on interests, basically. So you can kind of target for this one. For the Reddit ad, we targeted businesses, or the interest business, podcast, computing, and virtual reality. That's about as close as I could find when I set it up. Now, I could go in a little further and target a subreddit inside business of marketing, but I just did the overall business. So I didn't see a way to retarget now.
Okay. All right. So you've got an Agorapulse, Social Media Lab ad, which, by the way, are you using Agorapulse? Because if not, you should be. It's time to wake up, folks. Agorapulse is where it's at. Want to say what's up to Emmerich. Oh, is Emmerich here? Oh, that's great. Emmerich, good to see you. How interesting
it's
that
really
I would do an Agorapulse plug right as Emmerich logs in. Total coincidence, folks. He's our CEO. Good to have you out there, my friend. So let's take a look at the Facebook ad then. So you run these, you're running these Reddit ads, and then you've got your Facebook ads, which are pretty much the same thing. Melissa, can we go? So these are the Facebook ads. Now, where are the Reddit ads? The Reddit ads look pretty much exactly
they're very same. Yeah, the same image, very similar title. Obviously, on the Facebook ads, if we go over to them, I can do a little bit more with it because you've got the description, and then you get the title, the description, and kind of the the metadata there, and a button to click learn more. So and you get the social proof of it as well, as far as the comments and shares. So and a Facebook ad typically looks like a regular post. These were feed type ads. And so that's kind of what it would look like if you saw a typical ad on Facebook. And one of the things we did on both of them to try to be as close to similar as possible is we only targeted English speaking people because the blog's in English and it made the most sense. And we targeted people in the US, Canada, Australia, and the UK. And that was on both Facebook and Reddit, which kind of keeps us staying a little bit closer to being as similar of an audience, if you will, as possible. Did Emmerich say he was too old for Reddit?
Yeah, I saw that comment coming in.
Yeah,
and it's
too old for Reddit.
It's interesting, like I say, for more mature internet users, right? It's the site is a little different. It skews a little bit younger, and that's why there's so many free thinkers on Reddit, which we're happy to see. So, Scott, you ran these 2 ads? Did you run them at the same time? Right.
Yeah, they ran basically at the same exact time. We ran them, in I think this was back in, I want to say this was in October. So this had just happened here recently. We ran these ads, but they ran at the exact same time for the exact same time periods. Each ad ran for about 10 days.
Okay.
On each of the sites. And what we did on Facebook, obviously you can target a lot more granular. You can kind of really drill down. So on Facebook, we're targeting. And I won't list all the. You can go to the blog post and see all of them. But we targeted interests such as Mari Smith, Joel Comm. We targeted some of our competitors, Hootsuite and Post Planner, people who have interest in that. Kim Garst, Social Media Examiner. So we're able to target people who have interest in those, which are a lot more familiar with us and probably a lot more likely to click on the ads, but it is a better audience for us to target. Where Reddit, I can only target this kind of broad, audience.
And you're targeting on Reddit by subreddits? Or
we just targeted. You could target just by interest.
Okay,
is what we did on this set. Now you can drill down. Like I just did business. The ads I'm running right now on Reddit. Yeah. I'm actually targeting some of the smaller niches just to kind of see what they do on there.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I'll tell you, the results certainly had me surprised. I was certainly surprised by what we found here. Any other factors, Scott? What was your budget for this?
Yeah, I mean the budget for both was we did two different ads and we split it's $525 per platform.
Okay.
Which meant basically when we're all said and done, you never spend your whole budget when you do an ad, but we spent $509.61. We gotta get the exact on Reddit, and we spent $518.84 on Facebook. So basically an even ad spend between the two ads on each platform.
Okay, Tony Christensen is saying, as a Facebook advertiser, I can't wait to see the metrics for this. Awesome. Glad to have you here. Dustin Stout is saying, I think to be successful on Reddit, your ads need to capture their dark humor and anti-commercialism feelings. Thank you, Dustin Sanders. Great to have you in the audience today. David Freund is saying that orange tinfoil hat won't stop 5G, buddy. So our good friend David Freund, who's actually been a political captive. He's actually been captured by a foreign country and held hostage. It's fascinating story, my good friend David Freund. David, come on by sometime. You live a block away. And we've got even more. By the way, Daryl Eves is commenting in. He says, I have been on Reddit for 13 years, and I have accounts that have 7-figure karma scores. Scott, what's a karma score?
I don't know, Darren. You tell me. I really don't know what that is.
That's interesting.
I guess it's based on the engagement that you have on there?
Yeah,
probably?
I think so. I think it's like your ranking. And Daryl Eves is also saying most active Reddit users do a Reddit premium for ad-free experience.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about. That's why I think the Reddit cost per click is going to go sky high, because nobody wants to hear from you on Reddit. Yeah. Am I correct? Scott, which platform delivered the lower CPC? Let's see those results. What were Scott's results? Who do you guys think was the winner? Let's see it right now. Scott, go ahead and read us our results.
Yeah, if you look at that, the Reddit ads actually outperformed the Facebook ads as far as what we're looking at here. They had 490% more impressions, almost 70% more clicks, and a little over 42% lower CPC. So if you look at that, and that's a massive difference. So if we look at like the raw numbers of that, I don't know if we have the raw numbers up, but the impressions, that the Reddit ad had 454,000 impressions.
Can we get those numbers up? Do we have those numbers?
Facebook had, I don't think we do. Okay. Facebook had 77,000 impressions. So a big difference, and we spent the same amount of money. Mm-hmm. And then the CPC difference was 44 cents on Reddit and 76 cents on Facebook, just to kind of give you the actual numbers. But you're talking about a 42% lower CPC on the same Reddit ads as we ran on Facebook.
All right, so I want to hear in the comment section right now who was right and who was wrong. Go ahead. It's an on your honor system. Just type right or wrong. Were you right or were you wrong? I, for one, was dead wrong. And
me too.
I'm really, I'd really like to, explore some of the reasons why. And of course, I have my own hypothesis, but I want to hear from Gord Eisman, Janine Alley, Zoran Duke Rasavljevic, who I went to high school with, is logging in. And Lucia Acosta is asking a great question. She says, would cost per click depend on the type of business? For example, information versus ads in educating consumers. So it's advertising content versus advertising a sale, I think is what she's talking about. Scott, your thoughts there on CPC affected by the type of business you're in?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the raw CPC on any ad, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever, is going to be different and higher and lower depending on the business, and because it depends on the inventory. It depends on how much ads other ads are competing. But that's why I like the percentage. 42% lower CPC on the Reddit ads. That's a better number to look at as opposed to the raw 44 cents versus 76 cents. But yeah, it's going to be different depending on your niche, for sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, as I started to think about this, I started to think about one thing is that you do have a targeted base, on Reddit in the fact that fewer people, right? Fewer people, whereas Facebook is a more expensive platform, right? It's almost like going to Aldi's for groceries. They just opened up an Aldi's, down the way, and there's less stuff there.
Right.
But it kind of seems a little bit more unique, right? Like the products they have is kind of like new and fun and like, oh, you can only find them at Aldi's versus something like the bigger chain stores, right? You're going to find is more audience there. Things cost more. Like Costco, right? I go down to Costco and there might be like this lower price per item, but you have to buy 17 items, in order to get to experience that cost saving. So no matter what you do, Costco costs more. You're going to end up with a higher bill of sale over there. We'd love to hear from you in the audience. Why do you think the CPC was lower on Reddit? I would love to hear from you on that. But we got a lot of people saying that they were wrong. Emmerich is saying he was right as usual, which I love to hear. The humility, really, it's.
He signs my paycheck, so he's always right.
Yeah. Scott's like, you're amazing. I love it. Who else do we have out there? Chrissy Buck from Quick is saying, I was wrong. Tony Christensen saying, I was wrong. Emmerich is saying, Dustin, the stat was that Reddit was 42% lower CPC and 70% more clicks. Scott, as an advertiser, what should we be, more in love with? Should it be our cost per click? Or should it be the actual number of clicks?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, if I'm trying to drive traffic, I want to get new. For me, I like this because these are probably new people who've never heard of the Social Media Lab. Where on Facebook, especially where I targeted, they maybe have seen us for the last 2.5, 3 years. And like, okay, I've read that. I've seen the guy in the orange hair. But these Reddit users may not. So I was kind of excited by getting, 70% more clicks. As opposed to the Facebook ad. But there is a couple of caveats. I don't know if we want to get into the caveats here. It could make this. You had some. I want to hear yours before I'll interview you for a second. You said you had some theories on why you think the CPC was low. What are your theories?
Yeah, the fact that it's a smaller audience and that this audience is a little bit more sophisticated, right, than a general user-based audience. So when you see an ad that's for something like Agorapulse, you've got a sophisticated tool being advertised to a sophisticated marketplace where there aren't a lot of advertisers. Okay, so that's sort of my theory on why the CPC on Reddit was lower, despite the fact that, like Daryl was saying, most Reddit users have a premium ads account. That's like me on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? I spend so much time on YouTube and I have a premium account there. I never see ads on YouTube. So I never have to go nuts with the ads that I see. I think it's similar for these Reddit users that hate paid ads. They're premium users, so they're not seeing the paid ads. And therefore, it's the more, it's the not as committed to the cause Reddit users that are seeing the ads and going, man, what is this? Maybe this is good for me. Versus Facebook, where, on Facebook, people that have interests like Mari Smith, like my good friend Joel Comm, these people that are in that marketplace are inundated with all the different ads constantly, right? They're seeing ads from this social media software, that social media software, and really you're kind of like part of the white noise there. And therefore, in order to get clicks, Facebook's going to have to do more work. That algorithm is going to push you out a little bit further, and that's going to cost you more money. So I think the competitive nature of Facebook is why your cost per click is going to go up. And it's something that we as advertisers, that you as a business, you need to think about when you're creating video, when you're making ads, when you're advertising to the public, is how do you get into that blue ocean, right? How do you get, it's so common to say, oh, I'm going to jump into the advertising pool with everybody else so that my customers can pick me out of everybody else. When in reality, you want to be in an area, you want to be a city on a hill, right? They call it blue ocean, right? Where there's no other fish. and you're out there shining in the middle of the ocean and causing your customers to come to you, right? And so this is something that we have to think about, is how can we get into these little tiny marketplaces where we're going to capture a higher number of customers, a higher number of revenue without having to deal with so much competition. And it looks like Reddit could be an opportunity for that. So that's my theory, Scott, a little bit more. Do you think I'm right on? What do you guys think? Am I right or am I wrong? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the comment section, or just use your words, as we would say to my youngest. Scott, what do you think? Am I way off? Am I way on?
No, I mean, I think what Tony said here in the comments is, the lower CPC doesn't necessarily mean better results. And I think that's what you have to look at too. The good thing is you're talking about the premium. I was trying to look while you were talking. I can't find any stats say how many people have their premium count real quick while we're on here.
Yeah.
I'm going to venture to say it's a small amount of people. I mean, we got 454,000 impressions of this ad in the 2 different ads for 10 days. Mm-hmm. And so that's a lot of people who don't have it turned on those interests that are a little bit more focused. Now, if I just focused it on all of Reddit, yeah, these ads would have been really a lot worse. Probably would have got lower CPC, but a lot less interested traffic. At least these people are a little bit more interested. But I will say, I mean, if you're looking at click-through rate, which is another stat that you could look, we were looking at CPC, how much we want to spend the lowest amount per possible to get people's butts on our website. Yeah. And hopefully they opt into our email list or subscribe to the podcast or something like that.
Even if not, your retargeting could take over. And so you're putting people into your mama hen feathers, right? At that point. Right. So yes, lowest cost per click. Please continue.
Now it's a little bit better than I would say, the Facebook and Twitter both have their audience network platform kind of thing where you can just advertise on apps and stuff. Yeah. Which are really, really cheap clicks and they're garbage. This is better than that, in my opinion. But if you look at click-through rate, I kind of did some stats on the click-through rate. Facebook ads had a 0.9% click-through rate. Reddit ads had 0.26% click-through rate. So it took a lot more impressions to get clicks on Reddit than it did on Facebook, which is what I expected, honestly, because the people on Facebook, as you were saying, they know us. Yeah. They're a little bit more interested. They're a little more targeted. So it took me a lot more impressions. But luckily, I was only paying for CPC in a sense. I wasn't playing through the click-through rate. So that's where those numbers can be a little deceiving, saying it's that much lower because it may not be as qualified. But if you're just looking to drive traffic and get some new traffic, like you said, in your under the wings of your mama hen, then I think it's an interesting thing to consider now.
So much value, I think, in finding those little niche places, so much value in just driving people to your website, not even really to get the download or to get the opt-in, but just to provide value and to show a new face. And then through retargeting, now you're kind of hitting them with your content and hitting them with conversion. And as we mentioned earlier, the type of business you're in, I think is critically important. Are you a software company with a low barrier to entry, maybe a free trial and then a $20 membership? I would probably go right for conversion in that case, right to the free trial. Right. But if you're a coach or you're in some bigger type of investment, you're in a couple $100 or a couple $1,000, then you're going to want to advertise for traffic in order to get people familiar with your brand and then hit them through retargeting. And you're going to want to, nurture them in retargeting for a little bit as well. You're going to want to hit them with some videos, some image ads, maybe some polls. I saw a great Facebook poll yesterday from my good buddy Evan Carmichael that he boosted and turned into a post. It looked fantastic. So as soon as you take the poll, the poll results pop up, but then it opens up in his landing page. So it's like a Canvas ad type of thing. Anyway, it looks fantastic in lots of different ways to do that. Tony Christensen is saying, I think there's definitely less competition on Reddit. No doubt. Scott and I both, I think we're pretty mature advertisers in a lot of different ways. And I didn't even know Reddit, had ads. Tony continues, lower CPC doesn't necessarily mean better results, though. It could depend on the goals of the company. It's true. Yeah, I found that when we advertise something new, we tend to get a lot of clicks, which means a lower CPC. But the conversion is not always great in the beginning. And you know why? It's because people that are familiar with us are they're sort of like, oh, what's this? right? Oh,
Right.
what's this? So high CPC, not a ton of conversion until, after some nurturing has happened.
And I think John Loomer had a blog post the other day talking about just not driving, driving traffic from ads for just traffic, not always driving for conversions. And his thought was, you want to get this in front of people more and more and get them familiar. So sometimes your ads like this, maybe they saw this once, they see that, because we always have the little orange guy, on every one of our images for our blog. They'll see it once, maybe they went, whatever. But if I run another ad targeting the same interest, it's going to become a little bit more familiar to them. And maybe eventually they'll click over and go, oh, this is kind of an interesting place. I know them. I trust them a little bit more. So I think sometimes using ads simply just to drive traffic to blogs that aren't looking for conversion or sales is what we need to, especially for us, because we're kind of in the information business here with the lab.
Yeah.
That's really what we focus on. We hope they eventually buy Agorapulse down the line. But in the beginning, I want them to know who we are and get that, earn that trust with them. So they can know, like, and trust us, and then eventually they'll come and buy from us. So I think that's why I really like this, doing some, and I'm going to keep running ads on Reddit. Like I said, I'm running ads right now. The funny thing is I ran an ad Friday. I set up an ad because I knew we were doing this show this week, and I did it on this blog post about Reddit, and Reddit disapproved it because their logo was in the image. And their name was in the image, and it said it was a copyright thing. So they wouldn't. So they actually are on top of their stuff. But so I was kind of like, I really wanted to advertise towards, the marketing niche with this, blog post. So I'll have to change it up a little bit.
Platform on platform always does well. Our shows today, we had somewhere around 130 live viewers today. And if you're logging in and you want to follow this show, remember, you can type 5 in the comment section now, and you will be subscribed to the show. Hopefully our chatbot's working today. We've kind of got The Office, their copy machine. You always have to kind of hit it and to get it to work. That's our chat bot. We have to kind of is it working today? But definitely giving us a lot to think about. What I want to know from the audience today is, will you advertise on Reddit? Will you try? Is Reddit somewhere that you would think about advertising? I'd love to hear from you in the comment section right now. Scott, I couldn't agree with you more about earning trust with the audience, and on a platform where wearing tinfoil hats is the norm. Certainly the orange wig has got to be helpful in that decree. What are your final words of wisdom here as we wrap up today's show? What do we do with this
I think
information?
with 42, a possibility of 42% lower CPC over Facebook ads. I wouldn't go away from Facebook ads, but you might funnel a little bit of your money over to Reddit, especially if you're pushing people to blog posts. I would really focus on maybe putting on there on Reddit, target the interest that makes sense for your business, especially in marketing. There's a lot of places you can focus in marketing and see what you get from that. Maybe create a blog post just for that ad, so you can kind of see what sort of traffic is coming from it, and will they opt in, that sort of thing.
That's good. That's massive. Can we show that graphic, Melissa, that final graphic about 42%? When it comes to Reddit versus Facebook, Reddit ads win over Facebook ads with a 42.11 lower CPC. So maybe funnel some of that marketing money over into Reddit. Jason Webster is asking, so would Reddit be for product-based over service-based or vice versa? Your thoughts on that, Scott Ayers?
I think it can be for anybody. I mean, it depends on what it is. I mean, I would say for a local business, I would say Reddit's probably horrible. Right. But if you're somebody who has a bigger audience and can target, you can serve anybody, I think Reddit would be a better place for it.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting, somebody who sells shoes, to see what sort of conversion rate they got on Reddit. That would be really intriguing.
Well, I also think what type of shoes, right? Because if you're selling some of these neat new shoes, like Melissa's got really cool shoes, our fantastic producer, Melissa Media. She got these great shoes that are kind of like, I think they're Vans, but they have these cool, fluorescent designs, and they're definitely custom to it. I think shoes like those are going to do much better than sort of like Sperry loafers. You know what I mean? Based on just who the audience is. And speaking of audience, Dustin W. Stout, who's one of our top fans, says he just signed up for Reddit advertising. I'm glad you're giving it a whirl, Dustin. Way to take action. Jason Webster sells the customized safety gear. So imagine the crossing guard at your kid's school has this orange vest. So imagine that orange vest had something on it like slow down, pal, or drive like your kids live here. That's something that Jason Webster could do. So instead of the boring, same old orange stuff, you could have some personality. So Jason, I think product like yours would do phenomenally well on Reddit if you're advertising the right message to, to sort of the right people. Jason Shea, our good friend from Seattle, is logging in. Says, where can I find the blog post about Reddit marketing? We'll put that in the comment section. I'll have Scott put that in the comment section right now. Richard Young is saying, I don't know enough about Reddit quite yet, so he won't use it for now. Tony Christensen, however, is saying, I'll definitely test it for more top-of-funnel awareness type campaigns and then remarket on Facebook and Instagram. Tony, keep us posted on your results. By the way, take some screenshots and share it with us. Maybe it will make a phenomenal future episode. Melissa, cue the music. That's all the time we have for today, folks. I hope you will join us next week on the Social Media Lab Live. Until then, type 5 in the comment section. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching the Social Media Lab, brought to you by Agorapulse, where we use science to crack the social media code. Join us live on Facebook and YouTube to find out what's working and what's not working in social media.